Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Michael Bender Podcast. I am your host, Michael Bender. Welcome to the show. Before we start, I want to give a special thanks to people who've made this possible, Second Chance Summit and Top Roofing and Windows. Today, we have our second guest, and we have John Goodburn with us today. He's a dear friend. He's been in the family for a long time. We spend a lot of time together. John has a lot to offer. Gosh, I couldn't think of anyone more loyal and that says his mind than this gentleman sitting right here beside me. John, how's it going, man?
Thank you very much for having me.
Hey, not a sweat. Thanks for coming in, bro.
100%.
Hey,
thank you.
Before we go any further, I want to go ahead and give you a shirt.
Awesome.
Welcome to the show shirt.
Beautiful.
Just hit the press on Shopify America.
I love it.
Well,
Can't wait to wear it.
I know it, right? Well,
thank you.
There's some people that can't wear it at their house because I tried to make it PG friendly, but you know.
I think it's PG enough.
I thought it was PG enough too, my man.
Sometimes you got to be able to say what you feel and go with it.
You ain't lying.
Yep.
You ain't lying. So, John, tell me a little bit about yourself. You from Columbus, Ohio?
Born and raised Columbus, Ohio. Born in 1966. So a few minutes
nice.
ago.
Nice.
Went to school here. Started out in a Christian school. Ended up going to DeSales High School for a little bit till my parents moved. Then I went to Olentangy and graduated from there in 1984.
I tell you what, DeSales has a killer wrestling team,
I
dude.
did some wrestling for a year.
Really?
Yep, my freshman year. And
how'd you do? How was you?
I was okay.
Was you?
I was okay.
You look like you'd be a good wrestler, bro.
I was a very late bloomer.
I didn't get facial hair until I was in my 20s.
I was a very late bloomer. But I'll tell you, I was in probably the best shape of my life. And it started out my exercising and staying in shape, which I already kind of did beforehand.
Yeah.
Because, I'd watch all these TV shows and want to be like Bruce Lee or...
Oh, I tell you, Bruce Lee was bad. People who don't remember, I mean, everybody should remember Bruce Lee, but when we were kids, Bruce Lee, man, the 1-inch punch.
Yep.
It was the most powerful, 1-inch punch.
And there was another guy, I remember he used to wear a cowboy hat and he was a karate guy.
It wasn't Chuck Norris, was it?
No, it was another guy and he was an Indian. And I can't think. He was like,
oh man, Indian.
Yeah, and like he told this guy, he's like, I'm gonna take my right foot and connect it to the left side of your face. And the guy's like, yeah, well, good luck. And he's wow. He did it, no problem. And so I was kind of into that thing, It's
That's
like
good, man.
I had nunchucks and all that stuff as a kid.
I have slammed myself with nunchucks before, for sure. There's no feeling in the world like having a good motion on and then making direct contact with the end of that wood to your skull.
Yep. Unfortunately, they never had any MMA stuff or anything like that, So it was just kind of like, I think karate stores would start popping up there, taekwondo and things like that. But yeah, so I grew up and ended up, my parents moved at the time out to Powell Road. So if you know where Powell is, which would actually be over by the mall.
Okay.
So they moved over by there. And at that time it was like living out in the middle of nowhere and I hated it. So I stayed hanging out with my friends in Columbus and kind of stayed away from the Olentangy crowd, if you will. I think in that graduating class, there might have been 50 students.
Oh, wow. That's not very much.
Oh, no. It was 1 through 12 was at the whole school at the time. So I hated that. And so school wasn't for me.
Did you have a favorite part of school?
No, I hated school.
Okay, but I just making sure that was covered.
Yeah, no, I did terrible in school.
Yeah.
School was not for me, and at the time, it's you got to do good in school, you got to go to college, you got to have a good education.
Oh yeah, back then if you didn't go to college, you weren't going to make it.
No, you weren't.
And that's what everyone thought.
That's exactly what my parents believed 100%. You got to go get a job at Honda. So that wasn't my outlook, and so in a sense, I hate to say it, but kind of a failure. You know what I mean?
Would you consider yourself the black sheep?
I was 100% the black sheep.
Oh, that's great. You know what? You might as well just say, someone might have just told you, you're going to be the chosen one of the family.
I mean,
the black sheep are the chosen ones.
If I went and told my mom the sky is falling and it was, she'd be like, John, just go do something else. And if my sister's like, the sky's falling, my mom would be like, oh, let's go.
Oh, man. I tell you what, to be able, you know what?
But it's, yeah.
John, I really think I think you just hit something, man, because ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the toughest men I know, man. And you know what? In order to take that kind of situation, especially from your mama, man, knowing that no matter what you did, it wasn't right.
Well, that's kind of always
no
how
matter
it's
what
been.
she does, even if it's wrong, it's going to be better what you did. But you know what, dude? You didn't have a choice. You had to overcome that.
I'll freaking kill it every time.
And you fucking, dude, I think that just is it's part of your blueprint, bro. It makes you.
I have no choice. You know, this as weird as this sounds, if you look at everything in life, it's almost like animal. What animal is out there every day and like it's either gonna get killed and eaten or just killed, and that's how it lives its life. And I mean, other people in other countries, it's like you don't have a choice. You either do or you don't, and you die. And so for me, it's like everything I've done, I've gotten on my own. You could put me anywhere and I'll survive. I have no choice.
Right.
And so your second chance summit is the whole reason of my belief in what you have going on. I think it's awesome. I think that, you know, it's everybody needs it, and you don't have a choice in life but to put your head down and go through it. But when you're by yourself, or if you don't have any motivation, it's kind of tough.
It absolutely is tough, John. I mean, and thank you for that, because everybody deserves a second chance. Anybody can get lucky once and make it that hole in one, and anybody can get unlucky once and find themselves flying a sign at the street corner. But it seems like once you hit the rock bottom, man, for some people, it's really hard to find a way out, to find that path out, because nobody will give them a shot. Hell, they'll barely make eye contact with them, let alone offer them a career, a way out, you know, a second chance.
Second chance. But that's my point about the animals. I didn't finish on, but they don't have a choice. They either fight every day to survive, just like some people in other countries. They don't have the luxuries and the safeties that we have. They have to fight every day. You know, these wars going on in Africa. It's like they're just wiping people out, and you have to fight to get what you want. We have everything just sitting here for us to be successful if you just put the energy out to do it.
Man, come on, bring it.
And so it's one of those things that, like, out of high school, I had no idea what I wanted to do, and I don't think most people do. I don't know if you really need to.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Go.
I mean, I've lived my life completely different than anybody, most people. It's like, unfortunately for me, fun has always come first.
Why do you say unfortunately for that?
Well, because everybody looks at it as like, well, work comes first.
So if we take the equation out of it that we don't give a fuck what anyone says, then
you're
doing
comes
things
first,
just right.
But I mean, I'm gonna do it. Nothing's gonna stop me from making my living and making what I have to do to be successful, so I can have the fun I need to have.
Exactly.
Period. End of story. So it's if I'm in a situation, it's because I put myself there. I allowed myself to be put in that situation.
Yeah, it's the same here. I mean, that's why you'll never hear me bitch or complain, because if something happens to me, it's my fault I was there. You know what I mean? Whether it be an interaction. It's funny, at Office Depot today, I got tested. And I kind of lost my cool last week just for a split second, but it hadn't happened in so long. I was like, oh, shit. I thought I was past that. But no, it was some little sneaky snuck up out of nowhere. You know, and you're always like, oh, I'm going to be ready. When it happens, I'm going to be ready till it happens and you're not ready. And I was ready today.
That's awesome.
I'll tell you what, I went in there to make disclaimer copies and paperwork for Second Chance Summit, and nobody knew how to run the printer in all of Office Depot. We had to call in for help and assistance. And in the meantime of waiting, I ended up helping the stock people get chairs down, because they were too weak to lift the chairs down off the ladder. So Just a wonderful experience, dude.
This is a whole nother avenue that is like later on in my life that we could talk about, like where I'm at now. But this is exactly what you just talked about. It's everywhere you go, with everybody you see, especially the younger age. And golly, I feel old when I say stuff like that, but I truly feel that somewhere along the line, the ball's been dropped. And the unfortunate thing about that is the person at FedEx is going to be like, that's the only person I can get to show up.
Yeah.
And so I have to allow for all these other mistakes and other unprofessional actions because I need somebody to work.
If we stick to standards, we're not going to have no one to work.
There's no standards. So, and it's easy for me to say because I don't have any kids. But you know, I think the ball was dropped with the parents.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I mean, I'll give you a perfect example. You know, it's like being as old as I am and being brought up how I was. Men were the ones that were the providers. You know, I mean, I used to come home and have dinner with my parents at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock every day. You know, everybody did. All the families did.
Right.
The dad worked. The mom was at home. The kids went to school. And
when that street light came on, your ass better be home.
That's right. You know, and there were meals. My mom made a meal every day of the week. I mean, it was good. But as far as that, they believed that, you know, I'm a man. I'll learn on my own. And my sister was like, well, she needs to be taken care of by a man. So she didn't have to have the things that you know, if she needed something, it was given to her.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now later in life, my opinion is because of that, she has a few more struggles than I do because I was taught to go get it.
Man, I tell you what, just over the summer when I got my Harley, I had an option. I could have borrowed the money and then got it, or I could have waited and bought it when I had the money.
Yeah.
And my initial thought was, man, I really want it now. Yeah. But then when Joey explained it to me, he goes, dude, I'm not going to rob you of what you got coming. And what I didn't understand what I had coming, you guys, was that feeling of gratification knowing that I took my hard-earned money and I bought that sweet Harley Davidson. Nobody helped me. It was all 100% me. And, you know, no one can take that away. And it has
when I
so
met
much...
you said you were going to do it, and you had it set in your mind, so you worked for that to make it happen, and you did.
Have I manifested ever since I've met you, John? Hadn't I?
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's... So I met you, what, July or August?
Yes, it was at the... Not the Route 62 dirt
it was before
track.
Redbud, right?
Yeah, it was before. It was before Redbud, and it was at that track. Briarcliff. That I got to meet the famous John. I heard so much about John before we met. When he pulled up, it was like rock star status. And on top of that, his dirt bike had rock star on it. I'm like, this guy right here is a bad motherfucker.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
For sure.
Yeah, like I said, it's if you'd have looked at me back in so I never rode a dirt bike till I was 30.
Damn, really?
Right. So
what got you? Man, it's so crazy. What got you? You race motocross, correct?
I do.
Actively.
It's all I can think about is motocross.
Man, that's a pretty intense sport.
It's my drug of choice. And I do. I think about it all day long, every day, and I can't stop. It's bad. But I lived in a duplex. And I had my best friend at the time, Carrie Valentine. Shout out Carrie. He had a dirt bike, and he just kept saying, John, come ride with me, come ride with me. He had an extra dirt bike. And I said, there's absolutely no way you'll ever get me on that thing. You're stupid. I don't know how many months he kept asking me, and finally I went. And it wasn't too long after that, like a week or two, I went and bought my first dirt bike.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. What kind was it?
It was, I bought a Kawasaki KX 220, which was like a trail bike.
220? I've never heard of it.
Well,
really?
That's because nobody really has them. I was scared to get like a motocross bike, right? I'm
Okay.
like, because I would
Oh,
never.
so it's not like a motocross
No,
bike.
no, it's a trail bike, and so
What's
we would always go down to Wayne's, which is
Wayne National Forest?
Wayne National Forest has a bunch of trails, and we would go down there and ride. Um, and I had that bike maybe 2 months,
Uh-huh.
and I took and traded it in for a KX 250, which would have been a real race bike, a
Absolutely.
2000. So it was in 2000 that I first started riding. And I was working. This is kind of how Joe falls into place, but I was working for a guy named Robert Harmon, selling sunrooms and windows, which I love that job. He's a huge mentor for me.
Yeah, Robert's a great guy, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
He has a son named Zach, and Joey was his best friend, and they rode. So that's how kind of we got together. So that's kind of when I met Joe, was back in 2000.
It's a
So-
wonder we never met back then, man.
Right.
I mean-
well, I mean, it's because I think I was only around him like events with Robert, or if they
Right.
went dirt bike riding, and so that's kind of how that was. And my golly, Joe at the time was, I don't know, 10, 12,
Yeah,
13
Joe
years
was
old.
Joe was young, man. Joe was young.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. And you end up being a big time mentor for Joe, man. Joe really looks up to you, bro.
Well, I mean, he's kind of like a son, but a best friend too.
Hey, amen to that.
So it's my friend list is extremely, it's low, because it's to be a true friend, there's certain things that you've got to be able to do, and most people can't do them.
Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future.
Yeah. So it's that's limited, but Joe's an extremely good friend. Him and I click really well.
That's good. That's good, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I tell you what, if you got the same kind of frequencies, same goals, same work ethics, it's real easy to click. We clicked right off the rip.
Absolutely, we did.
That was super sweet.
Yep.
And me and Joe never really lost the clickness. It was that I had to get on board with the right level of living to be around Joe. Because I'm telling you, folks, if you don't have the right level of living going on, some people they ain't gonna let you around, because they know that show me your friends and I'll show you your future.
Well, so I think you're aware of this, but perhaps not. I may shed some light on it. But as Joe and I were talking and discussing some stuff, it came up that you were coming around, and the outside noise wasn't good.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Like, Joe, you may not want to go down that route.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'd let everyone down before. Before then, I always let everyone down, man.
Yep.
I mean, that's the truth of the matter.
Yep. And then where Joe shines is like, well, I think I can help you with that.
Mm-hmm.
And his job and what he does and the success you can have if you do it, there's nothing like it. And that's what I conveyed to him back when I think he first got into it. And I'm guessing 2013, maybe somewhere in there. I've been doing roofing since 2009.
Nice.
So I think like out of high school, like I said, I think I left off there, but I had nowhere to go, had nothing to do. And I think I even worked my parents. My dad was a third generation roofer.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Did pitch and gravel roofs only, and I wanted absolutely nothing to do with it.
What's a pitch and gravel roof?
Pitch and gravel roof is flat work. It's all flat work.
Okay.
So all commercial flat roofs. And at the time, it was called Goodburn Brothers. My great-great-grandfather started it. So it was like back in 1923, I think. And my dad and his brother and had another brother, but the whole shares got messed up and things got bad. I can say, I don't have too many regrets in my life. And if I have any at all, it's that I didn't pay any attention to stuff as I was growing up, like that business. Because if I would have learned more, So I've never put a roof on in my life.
Okay.
I've owned a roofing company for 20 years now.
Oh my gosh, man.
And so I wasn't really allowed to do anything with the roofing company with my parents because they just didn't trust me.
Yeah.
So I was a cleanup guy, a tear off guy. And so the whole mentality was just show up, do your work for whatever you're getting paid, and move on. And I really wish there'd have been something there, a mentor there that's like, look what this commercial roofing could be. Because if I would have learned that business, like, believe it or not, Durable Slate got its start from Goodburn Brothers Roofing.
Really?
Yep.
That Durable Slate's a big company.
It is. And you know, we did all specialty stuff, copper, tiles, slate, all kinds of stuff, and nobody else did, and still nobody really does.
I seen my first slate roof get tore off 2 weeks ago, and that is a loud, scary ordeal.
Yep.
Scary for the project manager because you're just praying to God that none of those slate tiles hit a window, siding.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And, you know, if I would have paid attention to that back in the day, what I could have carried on in my business later on in life, it would have been just incredible.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you think of the commercial job that you got, right?
Yeah.
For
D-Ball Communications.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
But, you know, a job like that, like we used to do Kroger stores. So, I mean, you're multi-millions of dollars. And so, you know, income with that is just phenomenal.
Oh, it's off the charts. I mean, you can be very wealthy selling commercial properties or commercial work for sure.
So they didn't let me do anything. I didn't want to do anything, so I didn't want to learn. And that's one of the first problems. And at the time, I didn't really have anybody that wanted to show me anything, and I don't know that I was willing to learn anything.
Right.
You know, I'm in my 20s, whatever. I'm trying to figure out.
I've seen pictures of you in your early 20s. You kind of look like you didn't want to take nothing from nobody.
I didn't. And I was going absolutely nowhere. And it's like I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't, you know, and again, high school wasn't the thing, right?
Right.
And being a roofer, I definitely wasn't going to do that, but still had no sight. So at that point in time, we were playing flag football, and this guy goes, "Hey, you want a job? We sell windows. It's great. You can make all kinds of money and blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, wow, okay, I'll check it out. And so I go, and they have one of those tests you got to take to see whether you fit the mold to be a salesperson.
What do they ask for you to, what are the qualifications?
To be a salesman or in this test?
I'm just kind of curious of what they're looking for.
Well, you had to pass this test. And if you take this test, it shows you, and I forget what it's called. I bet you Joe knows what it's called, but it tells you like where your brain thinks and whether you'd be a good salesperson.
Do you remember any of the questions?
I don't. This was back in the 90s.
Right.
I mean,
if you find a wallet on the ground, do you pick it up?
Yeah, something like that. Do you give it back or not?
Yeah, always give it back.
Probably something like that.
For sure.
And so I'm like, well, this is my only chance, but I flunked the test.
Did
you?
you?
Yeah.
Oh man, I did not expect that to come out of your mouth.
I did. And so now I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And the guy's like, but I want to give you a chance.
Oh no way.
Yep. And so this guy wants to give me a chance. It's selling windows. It's called Thermal Master. If anybody knows Thermal Master.
Thermal
from
Master.
Back in the day. And now I have to learn the skit. I have to learn this presentation.
What do you mean a skit?
Kind of what to say to people, like word for word presentation and how to close and everything like that. That's why I called it a skit. And I'd never done anything like that before. I didn't know how to do anything like that. But I told myself, if you don't do this, you're never going to make it anymore.
This is
the only chance you got. So I went home and memorized this shit. And I went back, and there's this guy, and he's super scary. And I'm like, oh, no, now I got to role play with him, and we're doing all this stuff. And it was so hard, but I'm like, you got to do this. And think I might even have been dating Karen at the time, or just had met her.
Shout out to Karen, by the way.
Karen, hey, hon. 30 years married, baby.
That's a good job.
And I'm like, this is my only opportunity. So I'm in these meetings, and all of a sudden this guy leaves, right?
Yeah.
And this next Monday, none of them are there. And it's just the sales guys and I, and we're like, what's going on? And then this kid walks in, this guy, his name's Don Sheldon. Ended up being a great friend of mine.
Hey, Don.
Yeah, Don's not with us anymore. So,
oh, no.
Yeah. So,
man.
So anyways, he ended up being my sales manager. He wasn't as scary. And so I was able to kind of fit in better and learn and make my mistakes. And he allowed me to grow.
Man, come here, buddy. God dang it, come here, man. Oh,
shit.
Oh. God, man.
I'm a very emotional person.
Me too.
Shit, you got me.
Man, me too. God dang it.
So yeah, Don Sheldon.
Yeah.
And
God bless you, Don.
He ended up leaving too. So the scary guy ended up leaving and starting a company called Thermal Seal. This was a one-call close company where we would run appointments, and they would send us all over the, it's like 1 month we'd be working Mansfield. So I would go to a meeting in the morning at 9 o'clock, and we'd role play.
Yeah.
And then after that, we're headed out to Mansfield to run our, 11, 1, and 7 o'clock appointments. So here we go, and I've got to sell these windows for $1,200 a piece back in that day.
Oh, my gosh.
Or I don't make any money.
Right.
So luckily enough, I'd gone out and made a sale, and so I started fitting in, and you had to fit in the clique, right? There's a group of guys there that pretty much worked in the company. They ran everything, and luckily enough, Oleg, Andy, I fit in. So I was able to take that job and work that job for several years, which, I've seen so many people come and go.
Yeah.
But, there's a certain way that you got to sell, and running appointments and appreciating the appointments you get, and knocking on that door, and they're like, listen, I told that guy I didn't want you here.
Right.
I'm sorry. I apologize. This is how I make my money. If I can just give you a presentation, I'll be on my way. I'll make it quick. 2 hours later, after my presentation, I'm leaving with a sale most of the time.
That's right.
So, I was taught this persistence and what to say, and it works.
That's great.
And so with sales, you have to do that. But one of the things you've got to do is you've got to practice, and you've got to study. And if you don't understand, if it's not making you uncomfortable, if it's not hard to do, then you're just not doing anything.
Man.
And you're just not trying. You're just not going to make it.
Well, I tell you what, that's a good little technique of deciphership, where you can always, just look at yourself, your situation, be like, man, am I pushing myself? Dude, I'm a nervous wreck before I film, because when it's just a fact of the matter, I want the right words to come out all the time, but it don't always work that way. But you just got to let go, let loose, and flow with it. Just like
you're doing a great job. I didn't even know you were that way or felt that way.
Yeah, man. But I usually don't, man, because I usually don't voice that shit, because I believe when you voice something like that, it gives it more power. So I keep it locked, because I know it ain't true. I know God's got my back. Just show up. I'll be your words. And he has never let me down. Man, I can't tell you how nice it is to see Raw Dog Emotion show up on the set of MBP, man. That's what it's all about, bro.
So yeah, it's emotions are what make everything, and like for sales, it's one of the biggest things, and it's like that's probably one of the reasons I get so emotional, is because I've spent my life paying attention to people, what they say, how they say things, what they do, and I register it all, because those are my customers. Those are the people that I hate to say I'm making a living from, but it's like I want to sell on a relationship, and so if we can identify with each other and understand that, and it's like it's a very powerful tool.
Well, I tell you, I try to even alter it a little bit even further in my own reality where I don't call it selling because I'm not selling these people.
Yeah.
I am helping them. I am offering them a service that they are going to have to get done regardless, but they're coming to a guy who they can trust, that honest work, and they wouldn't treat their mother or father any differently. And that's where I feel good about how I charge. When I come up to approach, I don't feel like I'm bothering you. I feel like I'm bringing you a service.
It's you. What you're doing now is one of the things that, even not knowing what you're doing, which you didn't
At all.
your energy and the positive energy that you have, and when I met you, that you have because you're so determined for success and the opportunity that you have in front of you, that you're going to make sure that you succeed. So there's this cloud around you of positivity.
Okay.
When you go to a door, you talk to somebody, sometimes it can be overbearing to some people, which is okay. But again, that's what you're selling on. That's what's getting these people to make these decisions that they're making is this energy that you have. Now, I'm not saying you don't know what you're talking about because you're learning and but this energy that you have is what's allowing you to make this success happen.
Your aura goes before you when you walk into a room. When you walk into a room, what you think, what you eat, what you do with your time, what you say, what you do in private is written all over you. And a true man who is a stalker of success can pick someone out like that in a heartbeat.
I mean, I've made a living knocking on somebody's door from roughly 2006 to the present time. And it's like, unless they've been referred to me, I've found you.
Nice.
And that's kind of all I've known other than running a lead before that somebody was telemarketed. You know what I mean? And so it's like, that's kind of how that's. So I guess where I'm going with that is like, there's been times, and just like we train people, as I've run my company, I've had a lot of salespeople come through and done a lot of training and everything like that. And it's like, if you are going to that door, you're going to that sale or that appointment, and you had a fight with your wife, if you had something happen the day before, if you don't feel positive, if you like, I don't want to knock on this door, I'm scared to knock on this door. Well, that
is
aura
your
is around you.
Yes.
And that positiveness I'm talking about, that negativeness, even though I'm smiling at you and saying hi, they feel you're negative. And they feel that and they stay away from it.
Like, he's smiling, but something's off.
Yeah.
Something doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
I mean, he's nice. Yeah, he's nice and everything, but
we've always been sorry to bother you. Nothing scary here.
Yeah.
And it makes them smile.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Get away from me. And I mean, it's, it doesn't really happen.
I always starting out like, man, today is your lucky day. And they're like, really? I'm like, man, for sure.
It is. So if you smile at somebody, right? They can't not smile back at you.
Right.
For any of you guys out there, go out and smile at somebody and see what they do. They can't not smile. Every time, smile, and they'll smile back.
For sure.
It's more muscles to smile, but they'll do it every time. It's a great little test to try.
Absolutely. And smiles are contagious.
100%.
I tell you,
makes you feel good.
I tell you what, it makes me feel great. Being a humanitarian in this world, John, makes me feel wonderful. There's nothing more than I enjoy than going out in public now and just being a complete light worker for this planet. I mean, and it all stems from starting random conversations. You see someone looking like they're having a bad day, man, don't be a puss, bro. Go up there. You look great today.
Yep.
What's going on?
Yep.
Man, you just kind of let that look to you, man. I just let you know I love you. Someone out here loves you. I love you. And you'd be surprised the lives you can change in a drop of just from one sentence to somebody.
Yep. 100% right. That's absolutely right.
I mean, kindness is the greatest weapon we have.
Most people, they have trouble accepting kindness a lot of times. They're like, You okay?
Well, we live in such an evil world, man. They have to be like that.
Well,
I had to learn how to bless with my armor up because I used to bless with my hands down and I was getting my throat cut every time. And finally, the Spirit told me, he said, man, you don't stop blessing, but you're going to have to do it with your shield up and your sword back. Unfortunately, in this world we live in.
That's kind of, I've noticed those things, a couple different things is social media. That has, it's good because you can learn from it, yet it's also bad because there's a lot of bad that comes from it.
Absolutely,
Especially,
yeah, there is.
Yeah, and so it's a pretty crazy balance, but it's a must. It's one of those things right now. It's a
I tell you what,
sword.
Man, I'm not going to be left behind on this one. When the internet came out in the 90s, when man, it was one of those things where I didn't know what it was. We didn't even have cell phones. We had Nextels and stuff like that. But man, a lot of people did what they were supposed to do. And I don't want to lose it with the AI. This is another chance. I'm telling you, AI is doing a lot of my work now, and it's doing it way better than what I could have done with the knowledge that I have at the skill level that I'm at this very moment. It's definitely going to build my business. It's going to build my brand, and it's going to make me a millionaire for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's
manifestation.
Yep, and you keep doing there's nothing that can stop you.
No,
there really isn't. And the thing of it is like all these people out there are going to try. You know what I mean? There's all these people are going to try because they were told you can't. They were told this. They were told that, or they're jealous. And they'll do everything they can to stop you. It's almost like the more money you make, the more negative comes after you.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it's this one analogy I've always heard of about the monkeys and the banana tree. So they got this colony of monkeys and this banana tree in the middle. Well, every time that they went to go climb that tree, they peppered them up. Every time they touched that tree, peppered them up. Shit, we're not messing with that tree. Well, they did that and did that and did that for like 3 generations. And then they let a new one in, and the monkey would walk up there, and all the others would be like, no, please, don't touch that. But it would try, and they would stop it. Well, this one monkey did it and made it all the way to the top, and they just couldn't believe it. The other monkeys are like, oh, my God, all this time. But it was passed down from generation to generation to generation of it couldn't be done, so they just stopped trying. They didn't even put in an effort no more because to them it was useless. And you know what? I mean, and that's where we're at now. So many people have tried for success ahead of us and failed, and they're like, well, we weren't meant to be rich. You weren't meant to be famous. You know what I mean? Well, that's bullshit because we are, and here we are, and yes, we are.
Well, so there's a difference in what you're saying. So if somebody's trying something and you want to be successful at selling, or if you want to be successful at your job, or you want to be successful at something, then it's the effort that you're putting into it, right?
Absolutely.
It's what you're going to... I almost forget where I was going with this whole thing now.
Oh, my gosh. You know what? Okay, I'm going to bail you out on this one because that was one of the biggest things is me talking and then completely forget what you're talking about. So...
Well, I don't forget. It's just I wanted to go somewhere with it, and then it's like, okay, well, now you forgot.
Well, it's a perfect way to actually be more on your toes.
I know what I was going to say.
So there we go.
So people are taught. Pardon me. It's like with our job that we do, right? We don't work a 9 to 5.
Right.
Most everybody works a 9 to 5, and so time after time, somebody will make a statement to me, or are you doing this? Or are you doing that? Because they've just been conditioned about a 9 to 5 job.
Right.
Or, you're off on the weekends, or you don't work in the evenings. All of these things from there. So it's these conditionings. And if you're raised and you hear your parents or your grandparents or other people saying, oh, you can't do that, or you can't do this, it's that conditioning that stops you from doing it, right?
Absolutely.
That's that negativity that, like, I'll go to sell something, and it'll be like, this person's just, every statement they say is negative. Right. And it's wild because it's like I can't handle that kind of information going in, because it's like my cup always has to be half full.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, there's no half empty. If it's not full, it's because I'm not doing something to keep it full.
If you say something that doesn't match my paradigm and my belief pattern, you will be freaking executed from my life pretty quickly. I mean, because even if it's me walking out of the room, because I just will not put myself around that energy. Yep. It might come out all of a sudden, but I'll deflect it, and then that'll be it. You ain't bringing your stuff on me. No thanks.
That's right. That's right. Thanks. That's 100% right. And it's like with that kind of thought process, it's like I said, going to the door or going to your appointment or going to do whatever it is that you have to do to sell on your job. That stuff stays inside, and it's like you may not think it's omitting, but it is.
Having the experience you do, John, what would you say to the up-and-coming sales people of this generation? I mean, what advice would you give them, man?
What advice would I give? There's I don't know that there is advice. My advice is learn everything you can about what you're doing and take action. And action is the most important part of anything you do. Success, whatever it is action. It's like Grant Cardone. If I take anything from him that he's ever taught, it's been massive action.
Massive action.
And it's the one thing in life that if you do it, there's no way you'll fail. It's impossible to fail if you take massive action to do what it is you're trying to do. If you go and you're like, I don't want to do this.
You've already lost.
Yeah, you've already lost.
But see, and that's what I've been hunting power for quite a few years. And I tell you, one of the things I tricked, it's just like the Super Mario Brothers game, the old Nintendos, where you got those little hidden mushrooms in the block. Man, the harder that a task or the harder that something came up in my life that I just did not want to do it, it made me just puke to think about it. I would run to it because I knew that if I did it wholeheartedly, still with an open heart and mind, but the best I could, that at the end of that, whatever it was going to be something for me. And most likely, most chances, and it couldn't be seen because it was just raw dog power.
100%.
Confidence.
Yep.
Bam.
Yep.
So, I mean, you can see it, but you can't see it. You know what I mean?
I would say another thing to answer your question, what it is I could tell somebody that they need to do is you've got to pay the price. You've got to go and you've got to do the grunt work before you're going to get the gold.
Absolutely.
The gold isn't just going to fall in your lap, and for some people it does. But for most of us, you've got to go do the work to get that. I mean, it's just that's all there is to it.
Absolutely. I heard one of my mentors, Andy, say last week on one of his podcasts, he says, how do you stop a man that never quits? How do you stop a man who never gives up? You can't. You cannot stop a man who never gives up. It's impossible. It's an equation that's just an impossible equation because eventually this guy's going to win.
That's always been me. I mean, I just sit there and I think about like younger when I would get in fights. I was unfortunately the thing I did, and it's like
you seem like a pretty good fighter.
It's one of those things like you just sit there and just keep punching me in the head, but I've got this. I will not stop. I'm not stopping till I have my last breath. So unless you choke me out. And luckily for us back then, that wasn't really a thing.
Yeah, choking people out didn't become a thing until like 20 years ago.
I mean, if you wanted to do anything then, like I said, it wasn't MMA. It was like kickboxing.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, well, it was Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yeah.
So, it's like those were just kind of like the running fun days or whatever had you. But yeah, man, it's
looking back now, John. What would you, if you could give yourself, your younger self, one piece of advice, My God, forgive me. What would it be though? For real, what would you tell yourself as of right now?
Be careful who you hang around.
Ooh, I like that. I agree with that.
I'd say if anything has made me weak or taken me down, it's been the people I hang around. And I mean, it's I should be dead, really, because of a friend I chose to hang around. And if it wasn't for my wife, I would be dead, 100%.
Carrie sure is an awesome lady, man.
100% blessed.
Awesome. I got the privilege to go to them to Redbud up in Michigan and spend a few days a week with them or whatever. It was what a blast, man. We had just a genuine, fun, friends, good time, man. I mean,
it was an awesome time. I look forward to that every year. There's nothing. I mean, I'm excited for it now.
I am too, Redbud.
I mean, like I said, you get to go hang out at St. Joseph and enjoy some dinner and some beautiful
spot,
views, right?
Dude.
Right?
That was beautiful,
and
man.
then hang out with friends. It's one of the hardest things I do every year. It's like I can't even tell you the exhilaration, how scary it is sitting on that starting gate with all those guys.
I can't imagine,
it is,
man.
It's like nothing. Yeah, I don't even know how to.
Man, the adrenaline rush. That's got to be. I mean, going through you when you're, because you know what I mean. Adrenaline rushes is a whole topic within itself.
Yeah.
The very few fights, I can count the amount of fist fights I've been on one hand and not even cover up my three fingers. I've been in 2 fights my whole life. But those 2 times, that adrenaline rush was something I've never really experienced before that. I mean, and I never could control it. But I can imagine what it's like to be on the gate with all those 2-stroke motorcycles, all those people who are racing and going for that one whole
they
shot.
want that corner just as bad as you, right? Yeah. It's the thing is like it affects me like a couple days beforehand. I mean, it's a thought process that whole time.
Oh my gosh,
it
builds
crazy.
up.
Oh, it is. It's amazing. And then once the gate drops, it's like you forget everything.
Yeah.
It's just forgotten.
So are you able to see, like I root on Joey in the corners and go. Can you see us when you go by?
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I don't know if you can or not.
If I can, if I know where you are or think you're there, then I'll pay attention. But other than that, I'm not like looking like on the side of who's there. If I see somebody yelling, it's not like, oh, hey, what's up? I mean, I'm focused on, especially at Redbud because it's sand. I mean, I'm focused on the terrain because it changes. I mean, it's super hard to ride on that track, especially because the terrain here is completely different than there.
Yeah.
And so it's what an amazing thing to do.
That's
like
awesome.
This last year was hard. Yeah, the heat and everything like that. But it's like, leaving there, it's like, man, do I want to come back? But it's like now there's nothing. I got to come back.
I was the fat kid rock in Michigan. You know what, though? This guy got me so motivated.
You were just starting to work out.
I was just starting to work out, and I'm like, the fat kid rock? Fuck, man. But you know what? It's just what I needed. It was just 2 months later.
Did I come up with that? Or Karen? Maybe Karen.
I don't know, one of you did.
Yeah,
but it was cool.
I don't want to blame Karen. Maybe it was me.
Right,
it was me.
It was definitely, that's okay though.
Fat Kid Rock.
The Fat Kid Rock.
That's only because at Redbud, everybody wears red, white, and blue. So I think you had like red, white, and blue
I
stuff
did.
on.
I definitely had the Redbud going on.
And then, so yeah.
I like to consider myself a professional pit guy.
I'm glad you were there. And I look forward to you being there next year.
Oh, definitely, man. Hey, I miss the outdoor races, dude. I mean, it's just super busy time in Bender Nation right now, but I go to every time Joey raced, I go, and I definitely love going, man.
So I think Joe's done it. He's raced there 3 or 4 years now, maybe.
Yeah. Is this the best time? Is this year is the best he's done so far, do you think?
Yeah.
I wouldn't agree with that too.
His whole riding skill has changed.
Joe's transformed into a
he's 100%
killer rider.
Yeah, he's like, I can't keep up with him now. He's on that next level, which is awesome. Good for him.
You know what else comes with the next level?
Well, that's the level I never wanted to
Well,
cross.
Big Rex. Big Rex. We were just talking about this off set. It was just like, oh yeah, when you go up to the next level, falling becomes a whole new ball game.
Well, and that's what we were talking about. So everything in my life seems to be risk, right? We're talking about risk. So, and believe it or not, it's like one thing that I think I do really well is eliminating risk.
Well, that's perfect.
But I mean, you know, driving thousands and thousands of miles a year for my job and to ride or whatever. So I'm always in my truck.
Allegedly.
Yep. Thanks. Good point. But through all the years of driving and everything like that, you know, you're climbing around on roofs every day. So that there's a risk there.
With harnesses and everything.
What?
With harnesses.
No.
We wear harnesses.
Inspectors don't have to wear harnesses. It's not an OSHA requirement.
At Top Roofing, we are OSHA friendly.
Fantastic. At Top Roof. Cheers.
Cheers.
You guys, good for you. But inspectors are not required to wear from OSHA harness or anything like that.
Really? I didn't know that. You learn something new every day.
Yep.
My gosh.
That's right.
My goodness
But
gracious.
I would assume that being project manager, you know the type of ladder and how many runs it's supposed to be above the gutter line for OSHA.
Well, no, Joey did tell me, though, how to lean it the right way so I could run up it.
It has nothing to do with OSHA.
Did Joey ever tell you the time when he's like, man, so I learned it from this one guy. He set it up there, and dude, the guy just sat back and just ran right up the ladder. He's like, that's really cool. I'm going to try it. And he said, I did it for like 3 or 4 times.
If you have it out far enough.
Until that one time, he thought he was going to do it on someone else's ladder, and the runs were a little bit closer or further apart. And I guess he got there and just got his knee right on one, and about right in front of an adjuster. And then I guess the adjuster's like, settle down.
We don't need any of that stuff here.
Can you imagine the embarrassment Joey had to feel? And that adjuster's like, just settle down.
Well, yeah. Plus, with all the different type of adjusters that we need, especially over the years.
I tell you, adjusters, they come in all different shapes, form, sizes, personality types. I have one. I went to say something. He's like, up. Oh, fuck, I guess I'm not supposed to say anything.
That's the thing about this business is like there's no rhyme or reason why, what, where. There's no consistency whatsoever.
Right.
If you get 5 State Farm adjusters, all 5 will be different. It's really crazy how all that works. But yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Well, you know, and they bank on you not knowing nothing. These adjusters bank on you not knowing your codes and your Ohio revised codes for manufacturers, you know.
I think anymore adjusters just, they're even so used to the roofer being there. It's just like, what kind of shithead is this roofer going to be?
Right.
That's really what it comes down to. And then, you know, the newer guys are going to be, you know, you can't use my ladder. You have to use your own.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, it's a Seek Now. You know, it's like, well, I'm just here to take pictures. And so, I mean,
Seek Now. Yeah.
So
I think they school those guys to be like, do whatever you can to deny this roof.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Real talk.
So it's back in 2006 is kind of when all this started. We had our first major hailstorm here. Now I know in 2004 there was some hailstorms up in Dublin and the Easter storms and stuff like that kind of got a little bit of the start for hail chasing or storm chasing.
Did we just start getting hail around here?
So what do you mean? Like at that time?
Yeah, I mean.
So nobody with the insurance companies, it wasn't really a known thing. So if a hailstorm came, there might have been some people that knew about it, but maybe a few companies. That's it.
Okay.
It wasn't really a known thing. So about 2004, that's when like Abel and Fiesel kind of got their start here in Columbus. And I think I know a guy from Minnesota came down, and he got in with Able and started working with them and running storm leads here in '04 and stuff like that. In '06, and it could have started way more in '04, but I had definitely seen things like a guy in our neighborhood. He knocked on my door and he's like, hey, there was a storm that came through, and I didn't even realize there was a storm at the time, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't know. And he's like, hey, and he goes, we do this, and I just need you to okay this right here that I was here so I could tell my boss that I was at your house. And it was a piece of paper, and he had the contract covered up. And so this guy tried to get me to sign his contract. And I don't know if it's because I was doing in-home sales or whatever, I paid more attention to what I was doing. And so this guy shows up in this ratty old pickup truck and he's trying to get me to sign. I sent him on his way. I'm like, no, go away. And next thing you know, like a month later, I see all these roofs going up. You see this stuff happening. And then that company where the guy knocked on my door, they're both driving brand new trucks, gold lettering on their trucks and everything. Like, man, these guys, they made it. They're doing good. And that's kind of what I noticed at that point in 2004. And then in 2006, we had a big hailstorm. And it went from like London, you know where London's at?
I do.
All the way to Newark.
Damn.
And it was from like from 70 all the way to the fairgrounds. So it was a big
Oh my gosh,
swath.
that's a big swath, America.
Big swath. It broke windows. I saw dead squirrels, dead birds from where the hail hit.
Oh
In
my
the neighborhoods.
gosh.
Like Joe's old neighborhood in Gahanna was one that just got wasted, and that's when all these companies from Texas and Minnesota came into Columbus. And really, I mean, to my knowledge, Columbus is like the 4th largest roofing area in the United States.
Really?
Absolutely. Colorado, Minnesota for hail, Ohio, Florida, and Texas, I believe. And so that's why you see so many roofers here in Columbus.
Did you say Minnesota?
I did, yeah.
I was going to say,
because they have a lot of hail.
You got all crew in Texas and then Colorado and up the Davie.
Yeah. So I had been working for Robert Harmon selling sunrooms, which I had told you before. That was kind of like after my window job. I'd had that for like 8 years and then sold with Robert Harmon selling sunrooms for a long time, which I really loved. And working for Robert was really awesome. Unfortunately, he went through a divorce and we had parted ways. I started going to South Carolina to work with an old friend, Oleg. Oleg and I were very, very tight.
Was you really?
Yeah, we were very, very tight.
I've heard a lot of Oleg stories.
Yeah.
Oh, Joel.
He and I like worked at the window company and we figured out a way because we got paid on these bonuses. He figured out a way. I shouldn't take credit for it.
Right.
To where we would take a customer book and we would go work all the old customers. And we were paid on self-gens, quarterly bonuses, yearly bonuses. And he mastered a way to be able to get that. So I had $5,000 a month coming in just from bonuses.
Damn, nice,
right?
Man.
And then just let alone my sales. So that worked out really well. And he ended up moving down to South Carolina, Charleston, and starting a company with Andy and all them. They had left. And actually the owner of Thermal Seal had just built the building where Able is now. So the building Able Roofing is in used to be my old building.
That's a big building, folks.
Yeah, he Ron Heath, he mentor and really helped out, and they allowed me to be part of that family, which I really contribute to a lot of my success. And so that from there, I had nothing to do. I had no job. And so I started driving down to South Carolina and knocking on doors with Oleg.
Yeah.
And we would retail sell people. It wasn't an insurance thing yet. And they had waited so long for a hurricane to come through. It didn't come through. We were able to finance them. And the roofs were 25 years old, so they needed replaced.
Right.
So I'd drive down there and work for 2 weeks and come back and stay for a week. And it was hard, but we didn't have kids. And my wife has always been extremely cool. If that's what we've got to do, then that's what we got to do. And I think that becomes, her dad kind of worked that way. And so that worked into the family. And so we were able to kind of make it work. We kind of had to because of me.
Right.
I don't know that I could work a 40-hour job.
I tell you what, I could if God had me do it. You know what I mean? Because I know there's nothing that I can't do or won't do, but man, it's just.
This is the longest I've paid attention in a long time.
Man, you ain't lying. Hey, shit, I love it. But I mean, it's hard to pay attention sometimes.
Yeah, right.
It's straight focus just to remember what the hell you said 3 sentences ago.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Oh, shoot.
So so unfortunately we were doing that, and it was somewhat hard on us, and I was racing and ended up breaking my ankle.
Right.
And I was going to therapy, and this lady's like, "Hey, you do roofing, right?" Because I told her, I was going down, but I didn't tell her South Carolina.
Yeah. And
I'm like, "Yeah, I do roofing."
Right.
Because I had a buddy here at the time, Derek. Shout out, Derek. And he did roofing. So I told her, and she was down in Upper Arlington, so I went down there and went to the house and measured it and everything like I thought this was a retail sale. And I get there, and there's like a sign in the neighbor's yard, and another sign, another sign, and another sign. It was just Aspen Roofing, Aspen Roofing, Aspen Roofing. And I'm like, why are all these signs out? And they're like, well, we had this hailstorm, and the insurance gave me a check. And I'm like, oh. And I'm like, and they're like, these people are knocking on our door, but they're not from around here.
Yeah.
And so all these companies had come up from Texas, and Aspen was one of them. They brought like 50 salesmen here.
Oh my gosh.
I can't tell you the amount of business they probably did. And they paid overhead and profit back then. So we're talking like windows, siding, roofs, gutters, overhead and profit, just amazing claims. Allstate they'd wear their outfits, they wore their blue suits. And
can you explain overhead and profit to the audience?
So overhead and profit is 10%, 10 and 10, what they call it, which is 20%. So 10% overhead, 10% profit. And that's, they say anytime it's over 3 trades or it's complex. But now the insurance companies have been able to just say, we don't pay that anymore. And they pretty much don't have to. You can fight it and sometimes do things about it, but you've got to really have like company documents showing like, this is where we spend our time doing this. This is where we spend, it costs us this much time doing that. To bring this guy on, it takes this much time, and really have it all spelled out to try and get it to work.
I always make separate work orders for each. Like for gutters, I'll make one work order, an invoice. Siding, I'll do another one. Windows, I'll do another one.
But they'll be like, you do that anyways. That's part of your business, so it's not really extended work.
We've been really fortunate here lately. We've gotten overhead and profit, I think, on all of our jobs, man, here recently. So
Joe's different, and he's extremely good at working with the insurance company and the documentation.
Joe's a master.
He's got them all there, and that's one thing that he's always practiced to do, and that's why he doesn't allow a supplement company to take care of it, is because he's got it down to where he'll work it.
Joe's also known as the supplement king in the back streets.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
and you know what?
absolutely.
Learning from Joe, one thing that he taught me is he's showed me these codes of like the manufacturer specs of how there's really no end point when you're putting on synthetic underlayment without doing a full roof replacement.
So why does Joe do that and nobody else does?
I think it's because you got to fight for it so much, and they just don't want to fight. They'd rather go on and find another for sure job, like either retail or an automatic approval. But
I'm perfectly good with that answer.
That's why I think a lot of people just don't want to fight for it because it is a pain in the ass. And you got to be good at being told no.
Yep.
And then, but the way he taught me if I believe something's right, dude, I will fight to the death for it. And the way he explained it to me with the insurance companies, the policies, the revised codes for Ohio, there's no reason why, if you got to do a repair on a roof, it should not be a full roof replacement. And, and I got two folders over there with the GAF install manuals for the underlayment, capping, whatever. You know
Which
what I mean?
technically is all crap.
It's all crap. But when it comes
that's just
down,
like putting underlayment when you install a new roof. And some of you may crucify me for saying this, but my dad did it for years, and I've seen it done. And maybe the shingles are different, but I mean, I've seen a roof put on with no underlayment, no ice guard, and it never leaked.
Huh.
Yeah. And a lot of people will be like, huh. But, things are done differently then. I believe back then they were also nailed. You know what I mean? We nailed it. We didn't have
they nailed fast. They nailed. I mean, those guys, it sounded like a nail gun.
But I mean,
but it was a hand nail.
All that stuff is I mean, it's just like the felt. It's just the sales. It's the way the roofing companies can sell you more stuff. I saw it GAF. I saw them start it way back when I got into the business. And it's like, that's one of the reasons I don't care for them a whole lot, is because it's like, oh, here's my shingles. Oh, you want my accessories? And then they overcharge us on all the accessories. And I felt they were taking advantage of us, so it upset me. And I've been upset with GAF ever since. But, I'm their customer.
Right.
And that's how I felt I should be treated.
Absolutely.
And I've always been passionate about what type of shingles I put on for somebody and everything like that. It's like people used to say Tamcos were crap.
What's your manufacturer choice?
My manufacturer choice right now is Atlas.
Atlas, really?
Atlas, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, now everybody else is kind of caught up, but one of the main things was because of the Scotch Guard. And again, it's like everybody else has the double nailing hem and all this other stuff. It's all the same. So everybody's shingles pretty much the same, unless you talk about thickness. And that's where Certainty kind of takes over.
Certainty, which is another manufacturer.
Yeah. And if you look at Certainty, all the engineers have approved the Certainty brand versus all the other shingle brands out there for whatever reason. However, with my choice of being Atlas is one because of warranty issues. I've had warranty issues with a few others that they never took care of, so I choose not to use them anymore, and I'm not going to bring their names up because I'll probably get in trouble.
Right.
But Atlas, at the point, they were the only ones that technically had something that was different. And why wouldn't you offer your customer something that's different than what everybody else has?
Right.
And if your customer is going to see staining on the roof first versus everything else, why wouldn't you put something on their house with Scotch Guard? So now I've got customers that I did back years ago, and I go in their neighborhood and I'm on their roof and I'm looking at it. It's nice and clean, no stains, no nothing. It's been 12 years, and I look at their neighbors because I didn't win that job, and it's stained and looks old.
Can you explain what Scotch Guard is?
Well, Scotch Guard is technically it's a coating that helps against staining.
All those black streaks that you see coming down.
The black streaks and everything. So when you say Scotch Guard's a pretty big, I mean, they're in tape and all other sorts of products. But when you're looking at it at the roofing, the Scotch Guard is really copper granulars.
Really?
Yeah, and they have the Scotch Guard coating on there that helps prevent future staining, but it's really the amount of copper granulars that are put in to the shingle.
Right.
And that copper granulars is what stops that from staining over a period of time, which they had a 15-year guarantee, which I've now found out that 15 years and 1 month, you got stains.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
But I mean, I can go into neighborhoods, because I've worked storms so many years. I don't win all the jobs, so the neighbors have these stained roofs now, and my roofs still look clean.
That's awesome.
And it is awesome. It's a great feeling. And so that's one of my main reasons of carrying Atlas. Now, I haven't done a lot of research since I've been carrying Atlas, but I know that a lot of these other manufacturers now have a 15-year stain guard and things of that nature. So I believe maybe a warranty is or not a warranty, but their what do they call it when they're the only ones allowed to do it? That's
The only ones allowed to do it.
yeah, like
Um,
patent.
patent.
So maybe
yeah,
they had the patent
copyright,
on it,
patent,
company
yeah,
rights for a certain period of time, because Modern Builder Supply.
MBS. Hey, shout out MBS. I see you, Colin.
Absolutely. I've done business with them since 2006 when I started, and they've been great to me ever since.
Bro, I went on the
love
roof
them.
last week in this ice storm, and they hooked me up with a new pair of cougar paws
Yep.
that are beastie.
Yep.
MBS, I see you.
Yep. So I've dealt with them for years, and that's where I get my Atlas from. They're the only ones able to carry Atlas shingles here, other than Modern Builder Supply, because I believe when Atlas first started, Modern Builder said, yes, we'll take you on, and nobody else would, at least here. And so they've been allowed to just be the only ones, because I've had, as far as me doing business and having the company, I've got guys coming in saying, please buy my shingles. It's like these manufacturers wanted to bring shingles from Dayton, Ohio to my jobs. It's like, how can you guys, you must be making good profits if you can truck all these, 40 square shingles from Dayton to my job here.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, so I've mostly done business with Modern Builder Supply down here. I've also had an office in Michigan for a little while. We've lived in Michigan for a little while.
I tell you what, Michigan sure is beautiful, isn't it?
It's my favorite state.
I know, me too, man.
I love Michigan. Michigan is, we moved up there. I didn't want anything to do with it. I was doing it for kind of business and family purposes, really, because of Karen's parents. And so we moved up there for a short period of time. And, with my business, I knew I could run it there as well as I could run it here. Other than so Michigan, you got to have a license to be a salesperson. You got to have a license for
Really?
building. Yep. You got to have.
Do you have to take a test for that too?
Oh yeah.
No shit.
Oh yeah. So
did you pass that one?
No, I'm not a test taker.
That's okay, John.
I thought I was gonna sell insurance years ago when I got out of high school, so I took that test to sell insurance. I flunked.
That's okay, man.
I am not a test taker, but
you are a risk taker.
I am.
I am. He ain't a test taker, but he's a risk taker.
I am a risk taker. That's cheers to risk taking.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.